Welcome to the week of January 12th. We start this week with a high quality workout I haven't pulled out of the archives for some time. It's the Igloi mix. Mihaly Igloi was a coach in primarily the 50s and 60s who had an interval-based program which produced a lot of world-class runners, some world records, gold medals, and was one of the primary training systems through that time. Arthur Lydiard came along about that same time as well, and what we do now is more Lydiard based, but there's still some things that we do that you can look back at Igloi's training and see that has carried through as well. And it was a mix of intervals. Almost every hard workout was an interval workout, sometimes twice a day. And what they would do is they would vary the intensity and the recoveries to make it a hard or a moderate workout. And when they do twice a day, the recovery jog would come in after maybe 100, 200, as long as 300, but then there would be a recovery, and the point of that was to be able to do more fast running to make sure they weren't accumulating too much lactic acid so they could do more faster running. If that sounds familiar, it should. When you hear about double threshold that the Norwegians just invented in the last couple of years, we can look back to the 50s and 60s as we can with most training methods and see that that's already been done. How we apply it and how it's mixed is what is new. There's not too many new training ideas out there. So what we're going to do is representative of an Igloi workout. It's not any one single workout that maybe he actually used, but it's a mix that will give you kind of that feel and that training effect. We're going to do 8 times 100 with 100-meter recovery jog. So that 100 should be pretty fast. It's not sprinting, it's not going as fast as you can go, but maybe mile pace, something like that, maybe a little bit faster than that. And then we're getting a 100-meter recovery. But that 100 meters should be relaxed. It shouldn't be super slow-mo jogging. When Igloi would do the really fast intervals, there would be a 50-meter walk, which is going to take a lot longer than the 100-meter easy run. When we go from those 8 times 100, we're going to do, depending on your total mileage for the day and where you are in training, 4 to 8 times 200 fast, 100 jog. So that is getting a little bit closer to the ratio that you would often see with Igloi. And then we're coming back and doing 8 more 100s. So it's not a very long workout. It's only 3,200 meters of fast running, but it should be pretty fast. I think I said something in last week's video with the 90 to 30 seconds that was going to be the fastest 5 minutes, maybe that you've run all year since your last race. Some of you have done some fast running, some of you have done a little bit of racing, but for most of you, that's going to be the fastest 2 miles of your year. Now, obviously a lot of jogging in there. It's 4,800 meters. If you do the full workout, 8, 8, and 8, is 4,800 meters of running. And then we're going to come back, do a cool down. We'll get the total mileage in for the day. We want to get a really good warm up. So the first 800s are not like we're doing striders. Those striders should already be done. You should be ready to go. In an Igloi workout, a lot of times he would do something similar to 8 times 100 as part of the warm up. And then they would go into basically the main set. Using the term main set also reminds me that if you're familiar with swim training at all, and I am a little bit, swim training, whether you're training for an endurance event or you're training for the 50 free, it's interval based. So there's lots of intervals. So that is something that modern swim training has in common with Igloi. So it should be fun. Yeah, I'm saying it again. It should be fun because it's something a little bit different. And I'm recording this on Sunday when the weather turned from really nice on Saturday to pretty rough on Sunday. If the weather's rough, it might be nice to have a little bit of a distraction and be doing something a little bit different. So that's Igloi mix for the high quality. We come down moderate quality. For those of you that are concerned that this is only 2 miles of fast running, first, if you do the workout, maybe we'll call an audible and add something to that. But coming down to the moderate quality, this could have been the high quality workout just as easily. It's 3 to 5 miles of high aerobic running. We're 75 to 85%. We're trying to get to threshold. We want to maintain as high as intensity as possible up to threshold for as long as possible. So get to threshold as smoothly and quickly as you can and hang out there. Now, if you can't maintain that for the prescribed distance, if your workout says 4 miles, if you can't run right at threshold for 4 miles, you think maybe you have 3, well, ease into that a little bit. Or when you're coming off or the last couple miles, back off just a little bit so you can maintain a little bit longer without having to really slow down or cut the threshold part of that short. So that's a good solid run. We're coming into the long run. It's an endurance long run after a couple of good quality workouts. That should be a nice change of gears or going to one gear. And most of you are increasing by a mile, if not 2. And what we want to do with this is, if you're comfortable with the mileage, even as you're increasing, let's go a little bit faster, keeping in mind our criteria. Can you recover for your next quality workout? And can you cover the distance? Does you no good to run a faster long run if that long run isn't quite as long because you ran faster. We'll do other workouts to do the faster running. But also slow down if you need to, especially if this is your first marathon or the first time you've done the real long run mileage in a while and it seems like we're just piling on really quickly. Slow down. That's okay. We just want to cover the distance. So if you need to run a little bit slower than you would like, but this way you can cover the distance and be recovered and you're not sore on Sunday and Monday, that's fine too. We want to cover the distance first and foremost. I want to mention group runs because we've had a couple here and going through the holiday season and the vacation season that really seem to hit the regular attenders pretty hard. When we go through that, I expect attendance to be up and down. But what I've really noticed in a couple of group workouts, yesterday, for example, we had a good turnout. The camaraderie was great. Even the people that ended up running more by themselves than with other people, you could tell that they were able to get into that energy of the group. And before and afterwards, it's kind of encouraging to see other people. And at Eagle Creek, when we're doing loops, you see people that might be running a whole lot faster or a whole lot slower than you. So that was fantastic. A couple of reasons why I think showing up to group runs is a good idea. And I'm not talking to those of you who live out of state or just have schedule demands. It is not possible. I understand those situations. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who sometimes come out, but if the temperature is a little bit high or a little bit low or whatever, they decide, oh, I'll run another time or do whatever. If you can make it out, I encourage you to for these reasons. First, be challenged. One of the things that I see on improvement curves for people, and there's lots of people that come to mind, so I won't even start naming them, but people that I had been coaching for a year, maybe 2, sometimes longer. And then they started showing up to the group workouts and we really saw them get faster in a hurry. And part of that is because you're challenged. You come out and you see other people, and I've said this many times, what I really love about our group is the slow people, and it's all relative, right? The slow people are encouraged by seeing the fast people doing the work and seeing that it doesn't just come natural to them. They're out here working hard. They're huffing and puffing just like I am, and they're really fast. They're doing the same workout I'm doing, maybe more distance, maybe faster, but same general workout that I'm doing. And then the fast people look at the slower people and say, man, I've been blessed with this talent, and look at them working hard. I'm cheating myself if I'm not working as hard as they are. So that challenge comes from both directions. There's a push-pull element to it. Some days you come out to a group run and you feel like you are in charge and you are the boss and you're going to drive the pace and this is your world. Other days you come out and you're not quite feeling all of that. Maybe life is getting in the way and you're down a little bit, or you're not in the shape that you want to be in, but you get pulled along by the group and you end up getting a better workout because you got outside of your own head and you were thinking about trying to keep up with this group or keeping my recoveries honest because the group's taken off again. So whatever that is, that push-pull that works, often the workout is better with the group. The camaraderie, I already touched on that one. The feeling yesterday was fantastic because we were blessed to have such a nice day for January, what was it, 9th, 10th, whatever it was. Such a nice day. We did a steady long run, so faster than normal. And most people had a really good day. They ran faster than maybe they expected or felt better running the pace that they expected. And for most people, there was somebody in front to chase and kind of keep them focused, or there was somebody with them. And then afterwards, when you have a great run, it's really nice to have other people around. And so you can enjoy that, because sometimes when you get home or with non-running friends, I understand some of you have those non-running friends, they don't quite understand. Having people that just did the same thing, it's a great feeling. If you don't have such a great run, sometimes you can be encouraged by, this was just a bad day. These people are who I run with, they had good days. I know things are fine. Or it's just challenging. It's okay, I got to come back next week. Whatever I did this week didn't have me ready to do this. Next week, I'm going to be ready. And then also, from a coaching standpoint, I'd love to see you out there. First, I'd love to have more contact with you than just over the internet or phone or text or whatever. But also, there's things that I can see during the workout. I can see that you're dragging a little bit. Your mechanics are not quite your normal, and we might need to adjust something. Or I can see that maybe we need to end this workout a little bit sooner. It's not your day. We don't want to dig a recovery hole. Or I can see, okay, you're sandbagging. It's time for us to move up to the next group, or we're going to add a little bit onto this workout. But it just gives me an opportunity to maybe give you more input as you're doing the workout. So there's a week. Hopefully the new wrinkle will be interesting and fun. And then the steady state in the long run, we've done plenty of those. So there's your week, and I hope to see you at a group workout soon.